Help Ducks, it's Simon here. Welcome back to the Hermit's Cave. So today I'm really excited. I'm here to do an unboxing and walkthrough of the Tarot of Enchanted Dreams, and this is a deck by Yasmin Westwood. It is by Red Feather, which is a part of Schiffer Publishing, and well, you've heard me mention so many times how much I love Schiffer products with their packaging, design, books and quality of cards. This has been sent to me and I was really pleased because this is a deck that's been on my radar for a few months now, and I've purposely not really watched any walkthroughs of it because when I know that I'm going to get a deck, I like that sort of element of surprise. I will look at a few of the images just so I know that it's something that I want to purchase, and then I will stop looking because, as I say, it's I don't know, for me it's part of the excitement when you receive a deck to not entirely know what's going to be contained within. So I'm going to read the back and then we'll flip the camera around and we'll have a bit of a look, a closer look. So it says, about the book and deck. Enter into a fantasy world of dreams as this enchanting tarot deck and guidebook take you to magical faraway places. 78 beautiful stylized cards bring to awareness what is hidden in your life, allowing you to connect with your higher self for personal growth and in times of need. Solve day-to-day issues and learn to stabilize your emotions and overcome obstacles through 7 telling spreads. So that's good that we've got some spreads in here to particularly work with overcoming obstacles. In fairy tale-like settings, receive clear insights using keywords and meanings from the guidebook and move your life forward with special affirmations and tasks that will assist you in your growth. This traditional deck will be especially helpful for beginners looking to explore the inner child and is also expressive enough for the seasoned reader. So it really does appeal to, you know, if you're just wanting to start out either with tarot or starting out doing inner child work, but it also, you know, as it says, is expressive enough for the seasoned reader. So that really, and with it being kind of fairy tale landscapes, and I think that's particularly important when doing inner child work, a bit like the images that we see in things like John Bower Tarot or Nicoletta Ciccoli Tarot. For me, if I see images that reconnect me to my childhood, then it's far easier for me to go to that place. There's a couple of quotes on the back, and one's by our lovely Benabel Wen. It says, the Tarot of Enchanted Dreams is like leaves of a fairy tale book turned into a deck of tarot cards. And, you know, I wasn't fortunate enough to get the Fairy Tale Tarot by Baba Studios. So I'm hoping that this in particular fills this need. The imagery is stunning and makes us feel like I'm in a fantasy land, and yet it's extremely intuitive and tells me exactly what I need to know or see. I'm in love with this deck and would highly recommend to anyone, and that's by Christina Mitchell, tarot reader in the USA. And the Tarot of Enchanted Dreams is such a fabulous deck with a beautiful and ethereal feel. The energy is so positive and magical. I thoroughly recommend it as an avid tarot collector. And that's Amanda Gore, Tarot Reader UK. So how awesome. It retails in the US at $34.99. So that would be around 30 pounds in sterling. So yeah, I haven't opened it yet. I thought we'd have a look at this together. So I will flip the camera around and we'll take a closer look. Okay, so let's have a look then. So the Tarot of Enchanted Dreams by Yasmin Westwood. I've made a little insertion there so we can not faff and waste time trying to get in. Oh, well, the box feels lovely. It's matte. We've got this beautiful image, which really, you know, gives you an indication of how nice the artwork's going to be. It is one of these lovely magnetic closure boxes, which is just beautiful. I like these because they're just really nice and sturdy and keep everything nice and protected. On the inside we have, oh, and this is really nice. I thought we'd get, which happens a lot with decks that come in these big boxes, you get 2 cards side by side, but this isn't, and these cards are nice and big, so we're going to get to see a lot of details. So let's pop them out. Oh, and they're gilded, and I'm loving Schiffer Red Feather at the moment for their quality of decks. We've seen this with the Shadowland Tarot, you know, the lovely cardstock and gilded edges. So nice sturdy presentation box, stores lovely on a shelf, like on a bookshelf. So yeah, so let's take a look first at the book. So here we have the Tarot of Enchanted Dreams, same as what's on the cover of the box. Red Feather, Mind, Body, Spirit. And it says, this deck is dedicated to all those who sat in their classrooms daydreaming of magical lands. Oh my goodness, this book could have been written for me. How many times have I told people on my channel about my school reports? They always said daydreamer. I spent more time staring out of the windows during class time, wanting to be anywhere other than at school. So that, I really appreciate that. This deck is dedicated to all those who sat in their classrooms daydreaming of magical lands. Welcome to my world. Yes. And you just feel, I used to feel so alone at school, not because I wasn't popular, because I was, and I'd got a good circle of friends, but alone in the fact that I didn't understand why I found it so difficult to concentrate on subjects, and my mind was always wandering. And part of that is, you know, of having the ADD diagnosis, but also just because of where my interests lie. So this is perfect. 2019, so it's a fairly new deck. I think I first saw it about 6 months ago, back end of the year. So we get a contents page which has the welcome and introduction, an explanation of the major arcana, the minor arcana right at the front, and then we have a section on the court cards. So that's nice that you've got court cards explanation separately. Then beginning a reading, learning about cards. We have got these tarot spreads. I think they said there were 7 tarot spreads. So we can see here 3, 4, 5, 7, 10, 12 and 16 card spreads, which makes 7 different spreads. Astrological, Celtic cross, which we know, relationship, and then general. And then we get the cards, the major arcana, the suit of cups, wands, swords and pentacles. So very traditional for RWS, and the acknowledgements at the back. Lovely colour reproduction images for the book, and this is set out beautifully. I love the curvy font here, which reminds me of fairy tale books. And here it says, welcome to the Tarot of Enchanted Dreams and the guidebook on how to understand and read the tarot cards. And then, absolutely right, tarot's been gaining popularity over the years as more and more people look towards personal self-development and are more open to exploring the unseen. Being a tarot reader no longer carries the negative connotations as it did in the past. And I agree with that to a degree. Again, I think there's always going to be exceptions to rules with that. You know, being brought up in a very religious family, there is still some stigma there, but more people are certainly choosing tarot as their choice of divination in particular. So we have what is tarot, misconceptions. Yeah, I love these. Some misconceptions. tarot can tell me everything. Tarot is something to fear. Tarot requires psychic skills. How to choose a tarot deck. So the very basic stuff that anybody who's starting out as a tarot reader might want to consider. How to store the cards. I was told back in 1987, 33 years ago, that it had to be stored in either wood, so something like a beautiful wooden box, which I still, you've seen my wooden box collection, or silk cloth. And, spiritually, I was told that silk was steel in terms of protecting cards. So it mentions here a silk scarf, wooden box, tin box, cloth, etc. How to clean and care for your tarot. I like this. Ethics of reading. That's something I certainly have on my website. I think it's very important that we let people know where we stand ethically and how tarot can help. It then goes into an explanation about the major arcana. Oh, these images look stunning. Minor arcana and the courts. And then how to begin a reading. So this is really nice to set it out like this. Learning the cards, basic tarot spreads, and then you've got your 7 spreads, which is really helpful. And then we go into the card meanings. So we've got the major. So you get this beautiful full colour image, and it looks to be about the same size. Yes, it is. So it's an exact replica. And then you get, it looks like a quote. Oh, we used to tell this little story in the church that I actually, not that this is triggering, but about coming to the edge and about being afraid to go to the edge, but then how you can fly. So yeah, that's interesting. So you get a little quote, you get your keywords, your meaning, a question that you could ask, an affirmation to remember, and then a task. I like that. A task. Start something new today. What will it be? So it doesn't look like there's a reversal in here, which I don't mind because I don't read reversals, but some people might. But I like this, a question, an affirmation, and a task, particularly if those amongst us are keep a tarot journal. Having something like a question to answer and then a task to complete that day, if you're pulling a card a day or something like that, could be really useful. So I'm not going to show all the images in here, but at the back we've got about the author Yasmin Westwood. That's a beautiful picture. And you get the same information for minors as well. Oh, look at this. Isn't it stunning? So you still get the keywords, meaning, question. So sometimes with minors you get a little bit less information, but they've not skimped here. This is really a really good book. Paper is all matte as well, which is nice. It's 143 pages. Look at the back too. So nice book. So the cards, let's take a look at the cards. Let's remove the little plastic band. So they have a gloss. These are the backs, which are beautiful. These are large cards. I probably want to say something like the good tarot size. If I compare it with a regular tarot size, you will see the size difference. So they're kind of more like an oracle deck size, but with some of these images that's going to be lovely. But if you're doing big spreads, and I noticed one in there was something like a 12 card spread, you would need a large table to do that on. So quite a bit taller and wider, probably the same width as it is height in size. And as I said, lovely gold gilding and beautiful backs. So far so good. All right. So They kind of remind me of decks that I might have seen in places a little bit like Star Child, Moon Child, those type of decks. Very ethereal, and these are fairy tale lands, but I love this staircase going up, and she's got to the top and she's stepping off into the void. We have the dog here, which is a beautiful, looks like almost like a husky, beautiful dog. And we've got things like a torch, which kind of represents the wand. We've got a sword here. We've got a cup at the bottom. So we've got the elements represented, the coin in the middle, which is unusual to see all them in the full card. We also have astrological symbols around the card as well, and this beautiful moon. Cardstock is really nice, guys, really nice cardstock. And I thought with them being, because they're not super glossy, but they do have a nice sheen to them. I thought they'd be sticky, but they're not too sticky so far. Here we have our magician. We have a female magician. Again, all the elements and tools represented here. The cup, the sword. So that's beautiful. I like the outdoor, you know, like in the Rider-Waite-Smith, you've got that kind of bow of leaves and greenery. So that's represented there. The High Priestess is beautiful, really beautiful. Look at those purple lips. Wow. And that third eye chakra really activated there. Stunning. Flowers. I really like that. Here we have our Empress. I like the fact that she's a fuller figure person. She's outdoors, beautiful lantern. The Emperor. Wow. So we've got the back, which is really unusual position, but we've got the back of the throne. So you can almost get a sense of the Emperor here, and he's got these incredible horns, two sticking up there, and then these kind of ram-like horns. I love the tree of life here. We've got the all-seeing eye. There's lots of symbols in this deck. So for the Hierophant card, we have the guide, which is really interesting because a lot of people struggle with the Hierophant because of the religious connotation, but you do get this sense, you know, there's like stained glass here. I wonder if the book gives you any detail about the imagery, or just let's have a look in the guide. I don't think it describes the card, but it says let the inner God that is in each one of us speak. The temple is your body and the priest is your heart. It is from here that every awareness must begin. And that's Alejandro Jodorowsky. This card indicates the need to look at your beliefs. What are they and where have they come from? Are you following belief systems of others, or are they really yours? How true are you to yourself? So yeah, whilst it might not describe the scene, it really helps you to go deep, and you know, it provides lots of questions for you to consider. I love the images in the background. We've got this kind of Milky Way galaxy here. We've got the crescent moon. We can see a little symbol there of yin and yang. There's so much in this deck. The Lovers. It's like going through different portals, isn't it? I love the love heart. He's up to his waist in this ocean. chariot. We've got a Pegasus here. Wow. Oh, strength is beautiful. I love this card. It's really beautiful. We've got this white lion, this mountain to climb. Got like little butterflies and birds. But they're just, you know, eye to eye contact on an equal level. The Hermit is stunning. Look at the colours in this card. Really lovely. I love this light that's radiating out. Instead of the Wheel of Fortune, we have the Wheel of Destiny. We've got this clock here. Time is continuing. And then we've got the Zodiac represented around as well. And the hourglass. Wow. And it keeps turning. The wheel of the year, the clock, it just keeps turning. Here we have Justice. These scales. Wow. The sword is balancing against the pen, which is mightier. She's blindfolded. Interesting. So the hanged person, hanged one, is renamed as perspective, because that's what the hanged man is about. It's about looking at things from a different perspective. You know, if you're dangling upside down, the world that you're suddenly viewing, you know, is tipped on its head, and you have the opportunity to pause and reflect and look at things from a different perspective. So I really like that. The Death card is fantastic. We've got this tombstone here with a weeping angel, but then this beautiful red cloak. But look, it's almost looking into another world. You know, death comes, but it's a gateway, it's a doorway into something else. Temperance is beautiful. We have the two water vessels pouring the water. The Devil, it's very female centric, this deck. There are males in it, but it's very female centric, as I say, which I don't mind. She's very alluring. Look at her horns. Stunning. The Tower. Wow. Look at these chains. The Star. There's so much colour in this deck. Really lovely. Then we have the Moon. We have the black and the white bird. We have the columns. There's little dragonflies. The water. Oh, that's gorgeous. Look at that. I love this kind of Celtic gold gilded sun as well. It's so beautiful. And the sunflower with the butterflies and the lion. It's like a paradise, isn't it? All these sunflowers, a field of sunflowers. Really beautiful. And we have Judgment. Again, we've got that clock and another one there. This phoenix rising up. And the World. How beautiful is her face. Look at the details in there. And here we have our world. Stunning. So then we go into our minors, and we're starting with the cups. Let me just give these some of sticking, but you always get that with gilded decks. So I'll go a little bit faster through the minors. I love that we get these kind of beautiful, and it's consistent, you know, all the way through. The swords all look the same, the little chalices look the same all the way through. Our Two of Cups. We have two females here. Love this. The Three. Beautiful hanging trees. 4. Wow. Gorgeous angel. Almost looks like a statue in a beautiful garden. Six. There's our Seven of Cups with those choices to be made. Love the 9. You'd have thought that would have been in the 10. Well, there is a rainbow in the 10 as well, but I love the feathers and the stars, the shooting stars. This is a beautiful card. I love that we've got this little family scene, but look at the shadows that's cast as well. We've got this beautiful palace with its turret, gorgeous rainbow, and the universe is alive with colour and vibrancy. It's wonderful. Here's our page. And the Knight is just some armour, some headgear armour. And the Queen, beautiful headdress. And the King. It's interesting, isn't it? You know, the Emperor card is the back of the throne, and the King is an empty throne. Here we have his crown and his staff. I wonder if this is the case all the way through. Yes, it is. So there seems to be a deliberate absence of males. Not quite sure why, unless the book, you know, obviously I need to read the book, but what I do like is I just noticed with looking through the colour associations for the minors. So this is cups, so they're all these beautiful blue tones. And you'll see as we now go into swords, the colours are like greys. And yeah, they change for each suit. So here's our Ace of Swords. Two of Swords. 3 with this pierced heart. But look how these hearts, this heart, sorry, is made out of roses. These beautiful butterflies. She's crying blood. So you get that sense of heartbreak, pain. There's our 4 of Swords with that rest. Beautiful images. 5 of Swords. 6. 7. Wow, love this kind of web that she's caught up in. You know, the 8 of Swords is about finding a way out of a situation, isn't it? Usually we're enslaved by our own thoughts, blindfolded. I love this. 9. 10 of Swords. I love all the dragonflies. This little boat on the water. The page. Each page has this kind of hairstyle as well, which is like on the cover of the book. The armor again of the knight. Yeah, it seems to be if there would be what you would consider, and isn't, you know, they could have used female knights, but the emperor, the hierophant was 2 females, the emperor was the chair from behind, the kings are empty chairs, and the knight is the armor. There seems to be a deliberate absence of male energy within the deck. Queen. And there's our king's throne. And then we have these beautiful colours, these autumnal colours for wands. So we get like the amber and oranges. That's just beautiful. Look at that. Like 2 of wands looking out, the same with the 3. So it does follow Rider-Waite-Smith quite closely. With a few deviations. 5 of wands isn't such a battle scene. Six. 7 is beautiful with the owl. It's gorgeous blue against this amber background. 8. 9. And 10, that heavy burden. So that's our cover from the box and the book. Page of wands. The knight. Queen. Wow, there's lots of... She's got soul. Her facial expression, she's a warrior. And the king. And then we have our final suit, the pentacles. This is a beautiful pentacle. Gorgeous. The 2, we've really got that sense of balance here. 3. 4. 5 of pentacles, the outside in the snow. Got this street lamp here and the warm glow from the building outside. 6. Yeah. Wow. Who gets the help? 7 is beautiful. 8, skill. And the 9 of pentacles. There's no bird, but we've got this beautiful little harp. There's birds at the top though. And it's a beautiful card, stunning. And the 10 is gorgeous. Look at that rainbow in the distance. A little bird bath. A chest full of gold coins and pearls and jewels. Beautiful flowers. There's our page. The knight. Queen. And the king. So there we are. That is a huge deck. The artwork is stunning. Really beautiful artwork. Okay, so I've just had a quick look at the guidebook, but there isn't anything in here. I've just read the welcome by Yasmin. She does talk about the guidebook is set up in such a way that you can you know, journal and find out how to be more honest in answering set questions, honest with ourselves. but there isn't anything really about the absence of males. So I've even gone to the court cards explanation, and for the king it just says the king is all about success, control, mastery, wisdom and fairness. The king shows the characteristics of maturity of this suit, and like the queen has mastered all there is to know about the suit, and as such can use his wisdom to counsel others. But yeah, there's nothing really else. The rest is about spreads, and it goes into the cards, which doesn't explain. So not quite sure why that is, but it's absolutely fine. You know, there are decks out there that, you know, like the Divine Masculine that's coming out, which is males. So I think it's good that we have these options. The artwork, as I said, is absolutely stunning. Cardstock is wonderful. I love the presentation, the size. As I've mentioned before, I've got big hands, so these aren't a problem for me. Gilding is gorgeous. The book is really nice, and the presentation box is a nice sturdy box as well. So that's the tarot of Enchanted Dreams. I hope you enjoyed the review. I will be back tomorrow to do a unboxing and walkthrough of the Grail Tarot, so hopefully you'll be able to join me then. Have a fantastic rest of your evening, and until next time, go in peace. Namaste and blessed be.